your time today. We have a great program lined up for you. This webinar is specific to Capital Blue Cross, the individual programs, and I'm going to do a quick intro of who URL is in case you are not familiar or don't currently work with URL. And then I'm going to turn it over to the fine ladies at Capital Blue Cross, and I'll make their introductions in a few minutes here. We're going to also record this program, so it is available for viewing. You would just go to our website, as always, and with all of our webinars, you can go over to the YouTube icon at the bottom right of our home page and view and listen to any of our previous webinars for all of our departments. These and see any of the promotions that are currently going on. And then if you want specific information on any of our departments, then you can go to those specific departmental tabs. Annuity Solutions is run by our Senior VP, Joe Corio. He's really experiencing a lot of good production from his agent partners because of healthcare reform, surprisingly. So if you are not in the annuity industry, please give Joe a call. He has a hands-on approach, he and his staff, and it's a great source of additional income, and surprisingly, as mentioned, goes very well hand-in-hand with under 65 health insurance. On health plan options, you can go to any of the product information, the quoting tools, any of the insurers, group, individual, and also this new portion of our site, which is the FFM forms, our exemptions, and again, with the senior products division and everyone turning 65, Steve's department has really experienced a tremendous amount of growth with the final expense market, which is, goes hand in hand with health as well. And about the number of people turning 65 that have an under 65 spouse that is left behind. So if you're not currently in the senior products market and you are in the under 65, I would encourage you to reach out to Karen and find out what it takes to also sell the senior products, because again, it goes, you can usually find on our site, but myself and my staff are always certainly willing and able to help you in any way we can. All you have to do is reach out to us. So without further delay, today from Capital Blue Cross, and with us today we have Stacy Warner, who's the Vice President of Individual Sales for Capital Blue Cross. We also have Jody Kleiman, who's the Director of Individual Sales and Producer Relations with Capital, and Cecilia Kiesecker, who's the Broker Coordinator. They have, they have a lot of great information to share with you. So I'm going to hand over the screen to Jody. And Jody, thank you for joining us.
Very good. Thank you, Deb. Thank you, everybody. Just want to make sure we get the screen up there.
We can see it.
Okay, very good. Well, I appreciate everybody taking some time out of their first day of spring here to spend some time with us at Capital, talking a little bit about what we know so far for 2014 and where we're headed, and talk a little bit about some of the products that we have to offer. And I know in talking to Deb, we wanted to touch a little bit on the dental. So thank you again for taking your time to spend with us this afternoon. Our intro slide is kind of a little analogy here. I think probably in the fall of 2013, you all may have been standing on the edge of something, peering out into what was a little unsure and unknown. Some of you, if you were an eternal optimist, may have jumped right in. If you weren't, maybe you needed pushed in. But regardless, we're all here now swimming in this new pool, trying to make sense of the world that we're in and figure out where we're going to go from here. So that's what we're going to touch on a little bit today. We'll do some introductions. I'll just give you some contact information so you have that. And then we'll talk about what we know so far. So for the enrollment that we have for the 2 months, 2.5, 3 months that we know so far, who have we gotten, what are they purchasing from Capital, and what plans are they in? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We'll talk about our catastrophic plan and give you some information that could potentially help you get some more sales in before the close of the annual enrollment period here. Again, we'll touch on BlueCross Dental. standalone, and a little bit on the embedded pediatric dental that's included in some of the medical products. And then we'll talk about 2015. So yes, we've already started planning for 2015, which you're probably pleased to hear. So we'll touch on kind of some preliminary thoughts around that. And we'll talk about Personal Blue and the transitional guidance and the most recent legislative updates that have come out within the last week or so. This is just some contact information once our presentation's over. If you need to get in touch with any of us, this is where we're at. You know how to find us and track us down. Just wanted to make sure you had that available to you. And what we know so far. So for 2014, we know, it's the elephant in the room, that we're not the least expensive option. I think you all know that as well. And we want to talk about why. I think we definitely approached 2014 in a very measured and thoughtful way. We went into it with a very conservative approach for the first year. And it was the first year of the new marketplace. We wanted to take a look at where things were going to shake out. And I think because of our responsibility to our existing membership block, we were willing to accept less membership rather than run the risk of picking up a large amount of membership and then the accompanying losses that went with them. So we for sure took a conservative approach. We priced our products to cover our costs and the significant unknown risks that we were facing. And I think, if you've read anything in the last month or so, you know that there have been some carriers that have publicly come out and said, they may need to pull out of the market because of their losses, or they're going to need significant reimbursements to be able to continue into the next year. And Capital didn't want to be in that position. We wanted to have some stabilized rates and see what this first year brought and build from there. So while we're not the least expensive option, and I think, in all honesty, we would have liked to have been priced a little closer to the middle of the pack, I will say that, we are pleased with the enrollment that we picked up, and I think our last two bullet points here kind of address that. We were pleasantly surprised with our enrollment for the first 2 months. We actually enrolled more members in our products for the first 2 months of 2014 than we did for those first 2 months in 2013. So that was surprising to us, pleasantly surprising. And I think we've come to realize something that we've known for some time, which really came true, and we could see it validated with the 2014 enrollment, that we do have a very loyal customer base. We have folks that know Capital Blue Cross, they know the brand, they know the service that they get, and they're staying loyal to Capital Blue Cross despite potentially the price difference that they're seeing. And we do have the niche market with the catastrophic plan. So we'll talk a little bit about that in more detail. But we wanted to address that up front because we know, first and foremost, that's what you're seeing in the market. That's probably what you will want to address, and we'll talk again about where we're going in 2015 a little closer to the end of our presentation here. So our 2014 enrollment overview, these are just some facts that we can share with you regarding the membership that we have on the books today. Most of that enrollment is coming from 4 counties, Lehigh, Northampton, Berks, and York counties. We know that 60% of the enrollment that we've picked up is in a gold plan. So folks are buying the rich benefits. It's the folks that needed coverage that went out and bought coverage these first couple months, and they're in very rich gold plan options. We know that 40% of the enrollment that we have on exchange is enrolled with no subsidy. Now, Capital's product portfolio did have some different products on the marketplace than we had off the marketplace. So potentially there was an appeal of a certain plan design that was drawing that population that was not subsidy eligible out on exchange. But we do know that over 40% of the enrollment that's on exchange purchased without a subsidy. We also know that off exchange, our enrollment, only 20% of those are buying coverage with pediatric dental. Capital made a conscious decision to put pediatric dental in only a few select programs to allow that choice to have the pediatric dental coverage embedded or not embedded into the program, and only 20% are buying it with pediatric dental. So from our perspective, that the feedback that we're getting from the market is they like that choice and the option to have it or not have that pediatric dental coverage included. We wanted to touch a little bit on the catastrophic plan. Hopefully you've seen our golf incentive program that we're running. We did send out a reminder this morning. We have, I think, 12 days left before the close of the open enrollment period. And the catastrophic plan is a plan where capital really has a corner on the market. And we want to make sure that you're all aware of that and have the option to sell that prior to the close of open enrollment here on March 31st. We do have the lowest price catastrophic plan in the state. I think the assumption that people make is when they see the rates out in the market and they say capital isn't competitive right now at this point, you can do that with a broad brush, but if you really look at the plan designs and you look at the catastrophic program that we have out there, we do have that niche there. So the catastrophic program, if you're looking for something, it'll give you an option to continue to sell something through capital through the end of the open enrollment period. The catastrophic plan is what you would want to look at selling. They start as low as $62.43 per month. It's these young, healthy people. You can see we've got some young folks on their treadmills there. Did they delay enrolling? Have they put it off? If you can find them and enroll them, they will get a very good plan at a good value. The next slide is just an overview of the catastrophic program. It's nothing that you probably haven't seen before. Standard benefits, the $63.50 deductible, $50 copay. It is available in the Value HMO network on exchange. Off exchange option does not have the Value network. It is only the broad network available off exchange. And the other piece we wanted to touch on briefly when we talk about our medical benefits, we do touch a little bit on the embedded pediatric dental benefits. So we do have two programs that have the embedded pediatric dental included in them. One of them is a silver PPO program, and the other is the gold PPO program. And the thing to remember with these embedded pediatric dental plans is that the out-of-pocket maximum when you embed the dental is combined with the medical and drug. It is not embedded in our on-marketplace programs either. Those would all have to be purchased outside of the marketplace as a standalone option. I know this slide may look a little bit confusing. There's a lot going on when we talk about our standalone dental options. So we're shifting now from our embedded pediatric dental programs that's in two of the off-marketplace plans to standalone dental and vision plans that can be purchased anytime throughout the year. They are not subject to the open enrollment period. So after March 31st, you could still enroll members into a dental program off exchange. So this slide that you see right now shows three different distribution channels. And I think it's important to kind of review them and look at the plans associated with each one of those distribution channels to maybe give you a little more guidance. Some of the feedback we're hearing is that there's a little confusion as to when we're using the Choose Capital Blue site versus when we're using the individual dental site. The plan options, with the exception of the Dominion discount program and the vision plan that you see down there in the bottom in green, everything else is the same. The products are available. The pricing is the same no matter how you come into Capital Blue Cross. They're just three different distribution models. The main reason that you would want to quote, and I think last year some of you, if you've enrolled in the dental programs, enrolled anybody in the dental programs, probably have a customized URL that has a number associated with it that you can use to enroll folks through the individualdental.com site. That you can still use. The reason that you'd want to go through and enroll through the Blue Individual Dental Program is if somebody is Medicare eligible, they need to use that. We cannot enroll a Medicare eligible individual off marketplace direct from CBC on that paper application or on the Choose Capital Blue site. So if they're Medicare eligible, you want to go through the Blue Individual Dental Program, or if you have somebody that wants to purchase vision coverage, you'd also want to enroll them through the Blue Individual Dental Program. The thing to remember when you look at the three different paths into Capital Blue Cross is that the Blue Individual Dental Program, those plans are administered through Dominion. So everything is housed in Dominion's enrollment system. They issue everything. It is still Blue Cross Dental. It still looks like Blue Cross Dental. Their enrollment is just housed somewhere else. So if you've got folks that, maybe call in here and, we can't see their enrollment or don't know about their eligibility, it's because they're enrolled through the Blue Individual Dental Program, and that enrollment would be at Dominion. So there's two different places where these members sit based on how they come in for enrollment, but the products are the same, the pricing is the same. And I think really at the end of the day, the reason to enroll through the Blue Individual Dental Program would be, again, if it's somebody Medicare eligible or somebody that wants to add a vision program, or if they're interested in the discount program. Those are the things that are only available through the Blue Individual Dental Program. Everything else you can use the ChooseCapitalBlue.com site. Just a real quick high-level overview of our dental product features. Obviously, under the PPO plans, you can use any licensed dentist. It operates on a co-insurance basis. The HMO dental programs, you do need to choose a primary care dentist, and it has co-payments as opposed to co-insurance. And the discount program that is offered through Dominion you can use a network general dentist, and it's discounts. They're in the form of member co-pays, but you're essentially paying a premium to access those lower member co-pays and achieve those discounts. And again, that's one that you purchase through the Blue Individual Dental site. Also through the Blue Individual Dental site is the Dominion Vision Plan 6030. It's an off-marketplace program, capbluecross.com/individualdental. And one thing to keep in mind is that you do have to purchase a dental program to purchase vision. You cannot just purchase a standalone vision program. It goes hand in hand with the dental option. The vision program, you can use any licensed vision provider. Obviously, if you're staying within the vision network, you're going to save. It's a nationwide network of 42,000 PAR providers. Co-payments and allowances, mail-order contact lens, discount program, and there is a discount on LASIK. So it's a nice program, but again, you've got to purchase the dental program to pick up the vision program. Pediatric benefits, we just wanted to give you a slide that would show you what the standalone pediatric dental benefits look like. Again, we have this slide and then the one back in with our medical where we talk about the embedded pediatric dental benefits. The biggest difference is to know that obviously when you purchase the embedded program, your out-of-pocket max is combined with your medical and your drug. Here you have your standalone $700 out-of-pocket maximum on the standalone program. Why sell Blue Cross Dental? We all know some of the basics. Some of the things that are on this slide are probably things that you've heard before. It is one of the most requested benefits, and it's one of the most affordable benefits. It ranks third after medical coverage and 401(b) retirement plans, and they're relatively inexpensive programs. They reward people for taking care of their oral health. So most in-network preventive care is covered in full. And we also know, and this is the reason that Capital Blue Cross has the Blue Cross Dental Program, is that there's a connection between oral health and general health conditions, including diabetes, associations with stroke, respiratory disease, premature birth, osteoporosis. There's a lot of literature out there that talks about the connection between good oral health and good medical health. So that's another reason that you may want to start pursuing the Blue Cross Dental programs as you're out talking to your clients. A few other reasons. It's a good way to increase your income. Off-exchange dental, like we said, is not restricted to the open enrollment period. So come March 31st, if you're looking for something to sell, acquaint yourself with the Blue Cross dental programs, and it's something that you can continue to sell throughout the course of the year. It's available to everyone. Self-employed, those that don't have a dental benefit, somebody that's looking for additional benefits, anybody can enroll in the dental programs. And of course, if you're looking at the Blue Cross dental benefit, it carries the promise of the Blue Cross brand. We're a well-known brand. We have that loyalty, which is why we have the membership that we have today on the medical side, and you'll get that Blue Cross brand through the Blue Cross dental program. 2015 expectations. We wanted to give you an idea of the legislative updates. Of course, anything that we do for 2015, we caveat because we never know what's going to change. We see the path in front of us on this slide, but we know it's never really straight, and we're always waiting for the next curve to come. And as you're all aware, recently HHS released several changes for 2015. And many of you are probably asking, what's Capital Blue Cross doing with that Personal Blue membership? What's happening with the special care membership? And we do have some updates for you. See, if you like it, you can keep it. Announcement that was made extended an additional 2 years. So the federal government extension that was in place took all of those members in Personal Blue and allowed them to keep their coverage through December 31st of 2014. So up through the end of this year was the first extension. And within the last couple of weeks, we did hear, if you like it, you can keep it, extended another 2 years. The insurance department has said, if you wish to do that, you can do that. So Capital has made the decision to allow the Personal Blue enrollment to keep their plan for another 2 years. It will take them up to October of 2017. And there will be more information coming on this. What I can tell you is that when you look at it to the letter of the law, I would say that there is a provision in there that requires folks to have had the coverage in place prior to October 1st, 2013. So we're still trying to interpret what that means, whether or not we'll have two separate populations of Personal Blue that may or may not be eligible. We still have to determine that internally here. But for general guidance, the majority of Personal Blue membership will be able to keep their plan through October, and October of 2017. As more information comes out about that, we will be sure to share it. I know that's a hot topic right now. Kind of hand in hand with that, we have some folks that are covered under our special care program. This special care program will not be extended, and we are going to be issuing an additional letter within the next week, just reminding folks that that is the case. If I take you back to the fall of 2013, we had extended that benefit program for an additional 3 months when the first announcement came out. Capital took the option to extend their coverage through March 31st of 2014 without a premium increase. I think other carriers may have done some different things, maybe extended 6 months with a premium increase. But Capital took the approach with these folks to extend it 3 months without a premium increase to get them to the end of March of 2014. So a couple months ago, we did issue letters to this population talking about the termination date as of March 31st. We will reiterate that. And I think the thing to keep in mind with this population is that the majority of them will be subsidy eligible. And as they'll be subsidy eligible, they should be able to go out on exchange and potentially find a much more cost-effective program for them than what they're getting with special care, particularly when we look at the potential premium increase we'd have to put with that special care program to continue it beyond March 31st. The last two bullets there, just some notes. They did extend the annual enrollment period for 2015, so it will run from November 15th of 2014. They extended it out to February 15th of 2015. So the annual election period is a little bit longer next year. And they did increase the out-of-pocket maximum. So right now we went from $6,350 to $6,600 for 2015 plans. So what does all of that mean for capital? What that means for us and what we've been doing, I know I said at the onset that we've talked a lot about 2015 already internally here. We're starting to plan product designs, our portfolio, and we're looking at pricing. So the one thing that we've heard from the market and from you all is that you're looking for a streamlined product portfolio, that we've got some of our options on exchange and off exchange don't match, and boy, it would be really nice if everything was streamlined and the same product that was on exchange was off exchange. So we are looking to potentially streamline the product portfolio. We are looking at some additional products that we hope to bring into market. We're looking at potentially a platinum option and some other options in there as well. Again, once we finalize some things, we'll bring you more information on the additional products. And then obviously we're trying to get more competitive with our pricing. I think given the most recent guidance that's been issued, we always have to be mindful that we're balancing what we're doing with our pricing with the risks that brings to us and to our existing population that we have on the books. So while we're sitting here waiting, could something change in another 3 months and another 3 months after that? Absolutely. And so we need to take into consideration the regulatory guidance and any other market factors that may impact that. But I can tell you that we are looking to address the pricing issue and kind of fall more in line with the pack. But with that said, we've got to kind of balance that a little here and kind of take a wait-and-see approach until we figure out, get a little closer to 2015, I guess I would say, until we need to get filing. And the last bullet point we have here is around the 2015 broker incentive program. We are looking to roll out a broker incentive program for the 2015 annual enrollment period that should help spur some business here and make us more competitive with some other carriers. So we're working on development of that and hope to have that available to release around the time of the annual enrollment period. That was all as far as our content overview. If you have any questions on any of the programs, certainly, we're open to take them. Any questions that fall outside the scope of this, we are certainly here to answer anything. I'll go ahead and pass it back to Deb at this point, and thank you all for your participation.
Well, thank you, Jody. I really appreciate you doing this program for us. Before we open it up for questions, as you can see, capital is a strong contender, and 2014 is 2014, but every year seems like it will create a new opportunity. And what's competitive this year may not be competitive next year, and vice versa. So not only do they have a strong following, Capital has a strong following in their members, but they have a strong following with you in the broker community and URL as a general agency marketing their programs. So that's kind of exciting to think about. That 2015 is an all new game for everyone. The extension of their individual and possibly their group plans, that creates some confusion, but it also creates opportunity. Selling the dental outside of 331 is a tremendous opportunity as well. I know for a fact there's a lot of people that need pediatric dental that didn't purchase it. It wasn't embedded in their plan. So, with some downtime, possibly go back and talk to those clients. And as Jody mentioned, those special care people that are coming off their plan 331, a third of them can be considered your clients. Just go out and find them. And of course, last but not least, the catastrophic plan. Not only is it competitive and available for those under 30, but for any of your clients that fall below the 100% FPL and above the current Medicaid guidelines, catastrophic plans are also available for them as well as other hardships. So, take a look at them and sell them if you can. And if you have questions on if it will fit or not fit, then please give us a call. Again, we're happy to help in any way we can to get some products on the books from URL to Capital. It looks like there are a couple questions that were typed in. If anyone has any questions, they can go to their question tab and type those in. Or you can raise your hand with the little hand icon, and I can unmute you. At this point, Joe says, it does not appear that these plans are particularly applicable for NEPA. Are suitable programs available? Well, Jody, I can answer that. Obviously, BlueCross of Northeastern PA is outside the territory of Capital Blue Cross, the 21-county central PA area. So there is a plan in Northeastern PA if you're interested, and I'll talk to you about that offline, Joe. And Don says, are you sending us detail on the dental vision rates, etc.? An absolute website, as I mentioned before, but I can also send that out. Doesn't look like there are any other questions, Jody. That must mean that you did a great job. Oh, here's one that came in. Scott says, will the current Capital Blue Cross Personal Blue members be notified that they can extend their current plans for 2 years until 10/1?
Yes, we are currently working on that communication.
Okay, great. And keep in mind, I mean, that extension may only be available to those that wrote their plans prior to 10/1. But, again, the devil's in the details, but, opportunity nonetheless. And now that seems to conclude the questions. Jody and Cecilia and Stacy, I really appreciate your time again and your partnership with URL. We're happy to represent your product and Capital Blue, and hopefully we can keep our agent partners engaged for 2015, but also hopefully we've shown all of you, my agent partners, that there's an opportunity still with Capital, and please take advantage of it. So thank you all again, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Deb.
Thanks. Bye.